And good evening and welcome to July 15th, 2020 segment. I would also at this moment in time like to give a shout out to the fourth in the line of my children, Jerry, whose 20th birthday is today. Needless to say, the idea of them turning 20 makes me feel like I have just turned about 96.
They're not there yet.
Gee, thanks. Anyway, just a shout out to them, though they will probably not see this video. To those of you who have children, young, old, whatever, you realize how much a part of their life and how much a part of your life they become. Anyway, a shout out before I get teary-eyed. Anyway, we will bring in our rising star who's been helping me out in these segments. Come on in, buddy. So, this week we're going to look at some things I'm pretty sure we have looked at a little bit in the past, but we're going to add a couple nuances to this. So, I'm going to be in guard. Matthew's going to come into guard. Up on your knees, please. Okay. Now, move back a little bit and make sure you have a bit of a base. Okay. So, we have looked at in the past being here and coming up for a hip bump for a sweep. So you would come up and crash. You should be a posture. You know your posture, dude. Come up. Boom. So he's up. You're up. The posture. And I would hip bump to take him down. Boom. But many times your opponent will have a good base and you don't get that hip bump. So spread here, you open up a little bit, and it gives you a better base. So I'm here. So the few things I've talked about over time, normally you would come up, you're looking for an underhook on either side, and that's depending on where you wish to get that bump. Boom, and I hit. Okay. If I do it on the other side, I come up with that hip and hit. This is blocking the base out and tipping him over. But again, sometimes a good base, you come up, you ram, well, it's a big guy, you ram, nothing happens. Been there, done that, you need to transition. Or you need to look at some of your other nuances. Now, part of the other thing is if I come up here and hit on this side, underhook, and hit. And he does just what he did. Creates more of a base, it's hard to get through. So, we talked about periodically in a segment doing things on a diagonal or opposites, however you wish to call it. So in this particular case, I'm going to hip bump this side, okay? But I want to prevent that base out. So instead, I'm going to go for a cross. So instead of going underhook on the same side, or if I was here this side, I'm going to cross it and control that arm. Okay? So now he can't base out with it. I'm going to control. Boom. Okay. I can do either side. So again, and this works for other things too. So use the concept, but the concept is not always I shoot this underhook here. Because I start to open him up. That being said, same thing. Guy's got a very wide base. I've been told I have a good base. Okay? And there are people who will try and sweep in this manner, have a very hard time getting me. And there are some people that I have to say are very good with this type of sweep. My shout out goes to Ray Corey, an instructor now at Black Hole, who way back in the day, I always said, had one of the most just rotten scissor sweeps that he'd get me from this position. It didn't seem to matter what I did, he just could sweep me in this position. But anyway, so I'm crossing, and I'm going for my bump, but squat happens. He's got a good base. Nothing happens. Boom. Okay? So here. But now the idea becomes, what do I do? Boom, I've stalled. Uh-oh. I stalled. Okay? So I'm going to transition back out. Again, if you would be up, please.
Oh.
Up. Well, no, you're not standing, but just up off your butt. Yes. There you go. So here, okay, I come up, I get nothing, no bump. But as I'm up, I can transition back very easily because I have that motion. And I gently, for him, I gently. In game, I would shove this leg out. I already have this, my other leg's there. Over he goes. If you're getting the cat in here, the cat is practically doing the same motion he is. So here's, again, open these and stay up. Stay up. Okay? So I've gone here, tried to get the bump, couldn't work. I just went out, right over. Okay? I'm going to shift the angle. So in case you're having, so again from here, I went here, it came up, nothing happened, shifted out, push, okay? We're going to change sides completely so they can see what's happening on the opposite side. So again, we're here. I've shot across. I went for this bump, nothing happened. But I can instantly take myself out, catch. And I still use this other leg to hip or sweep him over. Now, the other thing about that same motion, what you're looking at here, can I just have you move there for a second? You're basically getting into the idea of cross. This motion, in, out. Back in. And open. So again, the reason being, move back a little bit on the mat just so we're still on it. Thank you. Again, now this is a transition where I went out, came in. But the other thing that occurs here is for whatever reason he's quick, he starts to move this leg in a better position. You relax.
Okay.
I'm going to adjust my foot to do it. You're not used to the motion, it's fine. Okay. But we'll say, for the sake of it, I did this, came out, because I was going to push this leg, and he knows this. So he shifts this leg, and it comes back inside. Now I lose the push on the knee. He was quick, he came over it, boom. Okay. Well, I'm back out here. So he's just shifted and come in, and my foot went back to here. I don't have the push to push this leg out. That's okay. As soon as that happens, I'm coiled here. I take right back into my scissor sweep. Okay. Right where you started. So you have 3 sweeps from that one spot, depending on your very basic concept, controlling the space. Anyone who's listened to me for more than 2 weeks has heard me talk about controlling the space. Okay. So if you would, up quickly. Again, spread for the base. So the whole idea comes, we were in here, I crossed, I went for the hip bump, he stalled me, I backed out, I went for the leg push, In one particular case, at this moment, again, he shifted the leg, so I didn't get it. Then I recontrol the space by going back in with a scissor. Okay? I'm going to change sides so you can see what the other leg is doing through all that. So again, same thing. We're in here working, hand jive or whatever. I got the cross. I went up for the hip. It didn't happen. So I back out to get this leg over here. The far leg now is trying to get the knee. For whatever reason, he escaped it. Boom. But I'm still here because I came back out. So now I'll use this arm and the ability to move to go right back in for my scissor sweep. Now I'm coiled here. And I have that arm for the arm drag. Back to here. So with the scissor sweep or with any of the sweeps, the bump, the fact that I'm using the opposite side is creating torque. It is creating him to open up. He can't base out because I have control of this. Okay. Tricep right behind the elbow. Boom. He can't get it back to there. So once I go into the scissor sweep, it just peels him. Okay. Obviously, straight up. Boom. Pat the cat and see what happens. So again, 3 sweeps, 1 motion. Again, one of the big helps here is controlling this in an arm drag. Because even here you can start to fake it out. He's pressing, he's opening me up. Ring tight, he's opening. This is now come in. As his weight comes forward, he's going to drag himself right into that scissor sweep. Can't help it. Fine. He starts to pull back a little bit and allows me to get this leg around the front. Fine. And again, or if not, and it just happens, it's just a hip bump over, and that's it. You okay? The hip bump was a bit violent. It's a bit more violent. Okay? You all right there? You'll learn. So, again, the motion is coming off just to one side. This is the motion. Okay? We used to always practice here. Bent elbow, like this. Okay? Would you stand? You don't have to stand, just posture. There you go. We used to always practice, so if you were here and you wanted to check, you don't have to even move.
Oh.
You're good. 1. Okay, I'm doing it gently, but the whole idea is now we come into an experience of he's an aggressor. I'm hand, controlling. Here's my defense for a minute, but I see him come upright like he did.
No, I was in wood.
Okay, he went back. As soon as he went back, everything became exposed. Slam, crunch, done. Any questions?
I'm good.
You good?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
So, a little bit of a shorter segment. Usually I say that and then I tend to drone on and on, but unfortunately one of my failings. But tonight I'm going to hope for an early dinner and possibly some frisbee in the backyard.
You can drive your pickle up there.
then we can drag the pit bull up.
I said if.
If. So, with that being said, good night. And as I say every week, and it goes on, but I really hope to see you all soon. Good night and thank you. Bruce.